What's good, YouTube? It's your girl, Miss Golden 83, and I am here to do the monthly manifestation for the month of October. Okay, remember, you guys, these are general messages, not personal, so take what resonates and pass the rest to the next. Okay. Just in case if you are new to the monthly manifestations, these are for the collective as a whole, okay? Occasionally we'll mention particular signs throughout the reading, but again, this is not sign specific, it is for the collective, okay? My apologies for being a little bit behind. I've had a lot of stuff going on as far as preparing for the October readings, working on my shop, things of that nature. So that took precedent over the monthly manifestation. So, but I'm still here to do it for you guys. Okay. Let's get started with some notes, basically dates that I want you guys to pay attention to coming up for this month of October. Okay. Um, Basically, the monthly manifestations are here to help you as far as with moon phases in regards to organizing your life in the sense of self improvement, or maybe if there's a particular goal you're trying to achieve. Okay, and it's based off of the moon phases. Okay, so let's kind of start with some notes for a little residual energy from September. Okay, so in September, there was a new moon at the end of the month, which was September 25th. Okay, I wanted you guys last month to kind of focus on being prepared to start anew. Okay, and possibly taking a break or letting something go for at least 3 days. Okay, something that you could definitely afford to kind of take a break from or remove. Okay, now for the last couple of months, new moon energy has been circulating towards the end of the month, of every month. Okay, and so it kind of runs into the next month in a sense of starting anew or adding new things into your life, but also removing what is no longer serving you. Okay, so hopefully you guys have kind of taken that into consideration since last month, and anything that you haven't emotionally let go of is going to keep following you until you resolve it. Okay, so try your best not to suppress or procrastinate about letting go or releasing anything that's not serving you. Okay, so for the month of October, with the moon phases, your phases are your first quarter moon, your full moon, and your new moon. Okay, with the new moon, it's for you to focus on something new, something you want to work on. The first quarter moon is kind of like a halfway point, okay, in regards to what it is that you're working on. Okay, so if you're working towards a goal like buying something, it requires you to do research, things of that nature, maybe price comparison, things like that. Then from new moon to first quarter moon is when you need to work on that. Okay, and then from first quarter moon to full moon, is at full moon you should be complete with what it is you are trying to achieve or close to completion. Okay, depends on what it is that you're trying to manifest. Okay, so that's how we do the moon phases here. So new moon, residual new moon energy on September 25th. If you were starting a new project, that was the time for you to start. Okay, from the 25th to the 2nd, which was Sunday, was the time for you to do some progress. Okay, or come to a progress point. You may still have some progress to do leading up to October 9th, okay, where you should be completed when it comes to your progress of what you're trying to manifest, okay, whether it be self improvement or something physical that you're trying to obtain, okay. So on October 2nd, okay, which was, like I said, Sunday, um, an awakening of what you truly desire should have occurred, okay, or will occur within the week's time, okay, during this week, as long as you are putting in the work towards it, okay. You could be getting some signs, some epiphanies, things of that nature. October is the 10th month of the year, so I take this as the awakening month. All this month is going to be focused on you having some form of awakening about things that are going on in your life, relationships, things of that nature, okay? So I want your primary focus from October 2nd to whenever you get this reading, okay? Your primary focus on achieving your goals. No more excuses or people pleasing, okay? For some reason, I write out all my notes before I get ready to do these readings, okay? And that was something that I really felt. Some of you may be doing a lot of people pleasing just to either fit in or because you want to avoid conflicts in regards to if you don't feel like doing something, why are you doing it? Okay? If you aren't comfortable with doing something, you should be able to say no and not feel like you have to, out of obligation, do something for someone. Okay? So, no more excuses or people pleasing. Primary focus is achieving your goals. Okay? If you have been putting off things that you're supposed to be working on to help others, there's nothing wrong with that, but you have to know the difference between people using you and taking advantage. Okay? Especially if they know that you have particular side projects to work on. Okay? It's called being considerate. All right, that's point blank, period. All right, so that's what I want you to focus on, excuse me, for first quarter moon. Now, on October 9th, which is a full hunter's moon, okay, I want you to focus on the completion in all forms, okay? It's a completion of all forms on that day, which is next Sunday, okay? It's a very short time frame, okay? Whatever it is that you're trying to achieve, okay? Completion in all forms. That means completion in behaviors, okay? Vices that you probably need to stop or let go. Friendships as well, okay? And life phases, okay? Meaning some of you could be heading into a new life phase. It could be birthdays coming up, okay, where you're hitting a milestone when it comes to a particular age, okay. Friendships where maybe you're not connecting with your friends like you used to, okay. Maybe your interests have changed, which as people grow older, they change, okay. As life phases begin, maybe new parent, marriage, those kind of things actually start to change people. And so, doesn't mean that, you don't connect as, anymore. It could just mean you just have a change, okay, going on. There's a change going on in someone's life, and you have to kind of accept that. All right. So, don't fight it. If you feel like there's nothing there, then there's nothing there to save. Okay. But like I said, behaviors, vices, friendships, and life phases are coming to a completion. Okay. Eastern Standard Time is at 4:54, where this full hunter's moon will be at its peak. Okay. And I feel like it's going to be a strong determination to follow through on your projects, okay? Because again, that is your completion date, the 9th, okay? Anything that you are working on, you need to wrap it up, okay? That means proofreading, things of that nature. Now, you have time if there's like networking that needs to be done, or communication, or contracts, things of that nature. You have to allow some wiggle room with that. However, let's say you have a contract that you need to proofread over, and get it signed. Okay. And once you get it signed, you have to pass it on. Now, once you pass it on, it's in that person's hands to review and make sure that everything is airtight before they add their signature and contact you back. All right. So, as long as your part of whatever it is that you're working on is done, then it's perfect. Okay. So, make sure you're making those deadlines. Okay. Next, make room for new endeavors. Okay, so if you've completed a task and there could be some new things that you want to work on, start kind of focusing on those. Okay, pinpoint what it is that is the most important, or maybe needs the least amount of work, such as maybe contacting people for some outsourcing on some stuff. Okay, so kind of start embarking on those new projects. Okay, now what's this saying came to mind as I was writing down these notes. What's done in the dark will come to light. Are you prepared to reveal the truth? Okay, that could be your own truth, that could be truth surrounding a friendship. Okay, again, this is an awakening month. Okay, so you're going to be thinking about a lot of stuff. You're going to be thinking about connections. You're going to be thinking about your life as a whole. Okay, again, I feel like this is surrounding a milestone. Okay, for a lot of people. Okay, so are you prepared to reveal the truth no matter how bad it is? Okay, what's done in the dark will come to light. Okay, not saying anyone's done anything in the dark, but there is a partial solar eclipse coming. Okay, within this month. And so that is where that saying is coming from. Okay, anyone possibly could have done something, behind your back without you knowing. There could be rumors, things of that nature, interconnection of some sort between mutual friends. Okay, that ends up trickling its way to you. Okay, so you have to be prepared to handle the truth at all costs. Okay, it's to help you move forward. Okay, and possibly make that final decision. Okay, and what needs to be completed. All right, so on October 25th is on a Tuesday. Okay, that is the next new moon, which is before the next month. Okay, again, residual energy. Okay, whatever it is that you're holding on to or trying to, get all that you can out of it. Okay, it's going to keep rolling over. Okay, for some of you it could be that. For others of you it could be a project. Okay, that just it's not airtight yet. So that's why you keep getting this new moon energy within a current month before the next month. Okay, so time to have the strength to implement new ideas and connections. Okay, awaken to the loss or disconnection that may have been necessary. Okay, or is necessary. Okay, just like I was saying before, letting go. Okay, you're holding on to something that you need to let go of. Okay, something in particular, something that you've been possibly thinking about for far too long. Okay, because again, you're trying to hold on to something based off of maybe familiarity or a possible resource, using a person as a resource or them using you as a resource, and you're kind of awakening to that. Okay, what's worth saving, move towards it with a positive energy. Okay, that's in the sense of if you've reviewed and awakened to the truth, and the truth is, that of positive connotation, and that it's a connection that you want to keep, then work towards it. Okay, move towards it, figure out how to make it, come back together again. Okay, next, take accountability for shortcomings. Okay, procrastination or unfinished task. Okay, in a sense of, it's easy to blame someone else for something happening. However, I say it all the time in my readings, take accountability for what you have not completed, okay? If you dropped the ball on a phone call that should have happened 2 weeks ago, take accountability for it, okay? Whether it be, oh, I was busy, oh, I overslept, whatever the case may be, okay? Take accountability for it, all right? Also, like I said, this is the day 10/25, October 25th, partial solar eclipse. Don't turn a blind eye to self principles and logical thinking, okay? Again, don't hold on to something if you know morally that it does not connect with you, okay? If someone did something to you that really goes against your morals or principles, then maybe that's something that you need to back away from, okay? You can easily have a conversation with that person if you're, still trying to salvage something, and have them kind of explain their point of view that, is, very big of you to do, okay? So if you're willing to do that in a sense of handling something in a positive way, then by all means do it, okay? But just don't turn a blind eye to it completely in the sense of, oh, I can deal with it, all because it may benefit you in the long run. But how long is that long run? Do you really want to play the long game with this, especially if you're already kind of questioning the connection, okay? If this is in reference to a person for some of you, okay? One phase that I normally do not mention that much of unless there's a significance to it is the last quarter moon, which is on October 17th, 17 equaling out to 8, and then 10 adding to that as a 9, okay? Create balance for yourself is primarily for the day, okay? Balance, referring back to that awakening, okay? This month is going to be a lot of awakening going on, okay? And you just have to be prepared to deal with it. Ask those questions that you've been possibly turning a blind eye towards, especially on the 25th before you go into November, okay? So you don't want to take any, unanswered questions into November, okay? Just get it out as soon as possible. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and shuffle the deck because we're going to go ahead and get into the final part of the reading, okay, now that I've gotten through those messages, okay? So there are 3 questions. One is pertaining to, each question is pertaining to the moon cycles, okay? So I did shuffle before we started, but I like to shuffle again just because possible energies shifting, okay? So we're going to start here, okay? I'm going to do one from the top, which is in reference to the new moon, but it's going to be primarily about that September 25th new moon, okay? Then one from the bottom, which is for the first quarter moon, which is October 2nd. And then one energetically from the middle, I think I'm going to go here. See if I can get it. Okay, which is in reference to that full moon, okay? We'll look at the bottom of the deck for the overall outcome, but I am feeling like we're going to dig a little bit deeper when we get to that bottom card, okay? So let's go ahead and get started with the first question, which is, what should be the mindset towards your intention or goal? This is in reference to that 9/25, that September 25th, okay? The end of a tough cycle approaches. The end of a tough cycle approaches, okay? So, consider September the month of wrapping things up, okay? And then on the 25th, equaling out to 7, having that inner strength, okay? 7 is in reference to having that inner strength to move forward, okay, and keep progressing. So an end of a tough cycle approaches. Whatever has been bogging you down in reference to being able to complete certain projects, that September 25th new moon should have been the end of a tough cycle, such as maybe, like I said, communication issues, things of that nature, okay, should possibly have cleared up where everybody knows what they're supposed to do, and so you should be able to have a smooth going, okay, and things should be progressing where you're able to maybe move forward to the next step of a project, okay? So let's move on to the second placement here, which is for the first quarter moon. Will or have you made any progress? Will or have you made any progress? And this is from 9/25 to 10/2, okay? Work through your fears, okay? New moon in Scorpio, okay? The first one we had was in full moon in Capricorn. I don't really pay attention to that part of the card. I primarily just focus on the message and the cycle. However, those signs, you may be affected by this, okay? And you might find some additional messages for you, okay? So, work through your fears, okay? Work through your fears. So, there's possibly within this first quarter moon, which is supposed to be the point where you check your progress, okay? You may be fearful of maybe putting something out. You could be fearful of making or taking a risk on something, okay, or someone, okay? So you need to work through your fears, okay? Why are you so fearful of it? Are you worried about judgment? If so, then that means you're actually judging yourself or whatever it is that you're, working on, okay? And so maybe you need to reevaluate it. That is part of your progress, okay? Is taking the time to reevaluate something based off of maybe getting feedback from particular people that you're working with, okay? Especially if it's a collaboration, okay? If it's something personal, as far as self-improvement, again, self-judgment, okay? Or taking too much time to think in reference to the negative of a situation or a result of a situation. You need to focus on positive aspects, okay? How to make something turn out in a positive light and not so much negative. Again, I've said this before. If you think negative, you will receive negative, okay? If you live in fear, then, you'll be clouded by rejection, okay? All the time, all right? So to avoid that, you have to think of ways in which whatever you're working on will end in a result of positivity, okay? Optimism, abundance, okay? So unless you're fearful of abundance, okay? Because, as Biggie once said, more money, more problems, okay? But, you can't look at it in that sense, okay? It could possibly help you move forward more easily or, more easily than without money, okay? If that makes sense, all right? Without money, you'd be complaining, I don't have enough money to do this. Then when you have the money, it's like, oh, I got more than enough money to do it, but I want to do something else, okay? You need to focus on the project at hand, okay? So don't worry now. If your fear is having enough money to do it, you need to start focusing on where you can find extra money, okay, in order to do something. All right. If you're in fear of losing something, then how can you obtain it? How can you avoid losing it? Okay. There's always a solution if you're willing to look for it. All right. Now, let's move on to the last placement here. Your full moon has or is the intention or goal being achieved, okay, or been achieved. Bring love into the situation, okay? Bring love into the situation, okay? So that is full moon energy, which means completion. You should be finished with your actual goal, okay? If it's a project that you're working on, have you put all your love and attention and time into the project to really bring it to its full potential, okay? When it comes to projects, this is focusing on Aquarius energy, okay? Bring love into the situation if it's in reference to a relationship, okay? You need to focus on what you love about that person, okay? Think of the positive aspects of the relationship, not just the bad, okay? If the bad outweighs the good, then that's when you kind of focus on it. But if it's a romantic relationship, okay, what is it that is worth salvaging? Okay, like I said before, what's worth saving, move towards with a positive energy. Okay, awaken to loss and disconnection that may have been necessary. Okay, and that could be in regards to friendships or maybe collaborative type of projects. Okay, you've gotten all you can from a particular resource. Maybe there's been some shortcomings, if it's on your end, take accountability for it. If it's on the other person's end and they haven't taken accountability for it, then maybe it's time for you to move on and cut business with that person. Okay, and it's business, it's not personal, it's business. Okay, and you have to stay true to your principles and morals. Okay, and hopefully it can be considered a teaching point for that person or vice versa for yourself. Okay, so let's see what the overall outcome is. Okay, a time for healing, a time for healing. Okay, like I said before, it's time for you to be prepared are you prepared to reveal the truth? Okay, balsamic moon. Okay, so a time for healing is talking about whatever it is within you, like I said before, in regards to that full hunter's moon. It's going to be time for behaviors, friendship, life phases, and vices to come to a completion. It's time for you to remove it from your life. It's no longer serving you. Okay, so in order for you to properly move forward, you have to heal. Okay, we're going to move that over into the end of a tough cycle in regards to that new moon from September. Okay, the next card here is you're very close to achieving your goal. Okay, you are very close to achieving your goal. All right, so come after this full moon, okay, and moving forward into November, you're going to be close to achieving that goal that you've been setting. Okay, especially if it's in reference to projects that you've been working on. Okay, multiple projects. All right, and so continue to check in with yourself from time to time. Maybe create some time management for yourself, outline additional things that you need to do in order to wrap up particular things. Again, I feel like there's this feeling or this energy of a lot of small minuscule projects that need to be done. A lot of maybe communication. Okay, so kind of work on your throat chakra as much as you possibly can and prepare yourself to kind of talk to multiple people. Okay, next is the true ending of your reading here with a win-win outcome is in the forecast. Okay, new energy alert. This is the first time I've seen this card come up. Okay, which I love. All right, a win-win outcome is forecast. Okay, a win-win outcome is forecast. Love it. Okay, you have Libra energy here. Okay, so working on that empathy, okay, when it comes to Libra, all right, having some empathy, being able to bring love into the situation, and really having a win-win on both ends, okay, is possibly what's going to be happening for the collective, okay, whatever it is that you're working towards. So this is obviously up underneath that work through your fears, that first quarter moon, okay. In doing so, you get closer to this win-win situation, okay? Again, taking accountability, opening yourself up to the truth, okay? And, not only taking accountability if it's you that has to relieve some truth or reveal some truth, okay? It's just all about being honest with yourself and others around you, okay? And vice versa, okay? Be mature about it, okay? And like I said, this is a very awakening month for you, okay? For the whole collective, all right? Don't be fearful of what comes out, okay? And some of it is, deeply embedded within your subconscious and in your heart, okay? And so don't be fearful, just be open and honest and look for a positive outcome with this win-win forecast, okay? So with that being said, collective, that is all that I have for you guys this evening. We do have the first week of readings coming up, okay? Libra, Leo, Cancer, and Scorpio, okay? So until then, peace and happy manifesting.